students. So today I am going to take chemistry class 6, A, B and C. Some of the classes I have already finished this second chapter, like elements, compounds and mixtures. But in one class or two classes it has not been done. So that I am going to begin it from the beginning of the lesson. So, elements, compounds and mixtures. So today what we are going to do about these chapters, first of all we have to know the key concepts, what are the things that we do in this chapter. Matter and its classification. What is matter and its classification? Elements, what is element? Then compounds and their chemical formulae, mixtures, differences between mixtures and compounds, and separation of mixtures. So these are the key concepts of elements, compounds and mixtures. So as you know that many things that we see around us are a mixture of different things. So like air is also the mixture of several gases like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen and so on. Like that, soil is also a mixture of sand, clay, pebbles, wood and rotting plants etc. So, first of all we have to know matter. What is matter? So matter, as you know it very well, matter are anything that occupy space and has its mass is called its matter. So matter is anything that occupies space and has its mass. So that is known as what? Matter. So matter is divided into two classes, two categories. They are pure substances and then impure substances. Clear? So what is pure substances? So pure substances are defined as substances that are made up of only one kind of atoms or molecules. Once again I repeat, pure substances are defined as substances which are made up of only one kind of atoms or molecules. Similarly, impure substances are the substances which are made up of different atoms or molecules. Clear? So, they have fixed compounds, especially the pure substances, they have fixed composition and fixed chemical properties. So elements and compounds are pure substances. Oxygen and hydrogen are example of elements, and water, table salt and sugar are few examples of compounds. So matter, once again I'll repeat, is anything that has mass and occupies space, and matter is divided into, or matter has two categories, pure substances and then impure substances. So pure substances again classified into two categories. They are elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. Both elements and compounds are pure substances. Now see, pure substances again is divided into elements and compounds as I have already told you. So what are the elements? So elements are oxygen, hydrogen, sodium and so on. Clear? They are the elements, and then compounds are water, table salt, sugar, ammonia. They are the compounds. Clear? And again, these impure substances are classified into two categories. They are homogeneous mixtures and then heterogeneous mixtures. Clear? Once again I'll repeat. Impure substances are again classified into two categories: homogeneous mixtures and then heterogeneous mixtures. So what homogeneous mixtures? What are the homogeneous mixtures? Homogeneous mixtures means salt, water, mouthwash, all alloys, they are the homogeneous mixtures. Clear? And then heterogeneous mixtures are syrup in milk, ice cubes, and then solid waste down. So these are the heterogeneous mixtures. So now let us study about the elements. What is element? Now elements are the pure substances that cannot be split up into another simpler substances by any chemical or physical method. Once again I'll repeat. Elements are the pure substances that cannot be split, that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by any physical or chemical method. So elements are made up of only one kind of atoms. Remember this one. Elements are made up of only one kind of atoms. Say for example, iron is made up of only one type of atom, that is iron atom. Clear? Similarly, other elements also are made up of only one kind of atom. So the atoms of one element are not similar to the atoms of other elements. So remember this one. Atoms of one element, they are not similar with the atom of another element. So we can say that each element has its unique characteristics. As you know it very well, like there are two brothers at home. Example, there are two brothers at home. They have different characters. Clear? One can be very decent, very obedient, very sincere, and so on. Clear? Similarly, another boy or another son, clear, may be very rude, very disturbance, very restless. So like that. Clear? So elements of one kind or the atom of one element are not similar with the atoms of another element. So an atom is the smallest particle of an element. So it exhibits the following properties of an element. Now see, solid. What are the elements that belong in solid? They are gold, iron, silver, carbon, sodium, and so on. Clear? So these are the solid elements. Clear? Similarly, liquid elements are also there. They are mercury and then bromine. Clear? These are the liquid elements. And then gases, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and so on. So these are the different elements of different matters. So remember this one, mercury and bromine. Mercury and bromine are the only elements that occur in liquid form. Remember once again, I'll repeat this one. Mercury and bromine are the only elements that occur in liquid form. Clear? And rest of them are in the solid and are in gases. Now, we'll have to study about the classification of elements. Classification of elements. So, there are two types of classification, or the elements are divided into two categories. They are metal and non-metal. They are metal and non-metal. Metal and non-metal. These are the two types of elements. Now what is metal? Metals are gold, silver, copper, zinc, mercury are some of the examples of metal. And an element is a metal if it has the following properties. So metal and non-metal, they have their own characteristics. How to differentiate them? What is metal and what is non-metal? So we'll have to differentiate by their different characteristic features. Clear? Now, first features of the metal. Now, first let us see. First features, characteristic features. Characteristic features of metals. The first one, how to differentiate the metal. So it is lustrous. It is lustrous. It is lustrous. That means it has a shining appearance. Clear? It has the shining appearance. That means all the metals it shines. Clear? It has got shining appearance. Second one, it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. It is a good conductor of heat and electricity. That means it carries heat and electricity. Electricity. Here it carries heat and electricity. Third one, it is ductile. It means it can be drawn into wires or it can be beaten into wires. Clear? That we use in our homes. Clear? Or wherever it is. Clear? So they can be drawn into wires to carry the heat and electricity. That means it is ductile. Clear? And the fourth one is it is malleable. Malleable means it can be beaten into thin sheets. Clear? It can be beaten into thin sheets. Fourth one, it is usually solid at room temperature. So metals are usually solid at room temperature and it has high melting and boiling points. Then another one, it is sonorous. That means it produces a deep ringing sound when it is struck. Clear? And then lastly it is solid at room temperature. So these are the different features of metals. Clear? Once again I will repeat. Metals are lustrous. That means it has a shining appearance. Secondly, it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Third one, it is ductile. That means it can be drawn into wires. Fourth one, it is malleable. That means it can be beaten into thin sheets. Fifth one, it is usually solid at room temperature. Sixth one, it has high melting and boiling points. Seventh one, it is sonorous. That means it produces a deep ringing sound when struck. Then lastly, it is solid at room temperature. So these are the different characteristic features of metals. Now the second one, what are the characteristic features of non-metals? First of all, let us know what are the non-metals. So carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur are some examples of non-metal. So an element is a non-metal if it has the following properties. Now just see the differences between the characteristic features of metals and non-metals. It is just opposite. Now metal was lustrous, but non-metal it has no luster. That means it does not have shining properties. Clear? It does not have shining properties, whereas the metal has got the shining properties. Similarly, it is a bad conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity. So whereas the non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Then another one, it is non-sonorous. Metal, it has sonorous, clear? That means it produces sounds, whereas in non-metal it is non-sonorous. That means it does not produce any sound. Then non-metals, it may be solid, liquid or gas at room temperature. So remember this one, non-metals, it may be solid, liquid or gas at room temperature. And it is not ductile. That means it cannot be drawn into wires. Clear? So non-metals cannot be drawn into wires, and it is not malleable. Non-metals are not malleable. That means it also cannot be beaten into thin sheets. And lastly, it has low melting and boiling point, whereas the metals have high melting and boiling points, whereas in non-metals it does not have it has low melting and boiling points. So these are the differences between metals and non-metals. So today we will be doing up to this much. Clear? And the next class will be continued and the page symbols of elements. Okay, thank you.